Achtung, Achtung. Welcome to A Picture Paints a Thousand Words with me, Al Murray, and James Holland, in which we look at our favourite images from the Second World War, pictures that either we're familiar with or ones we're just struck by, and they get us talking. So, James, what's your offering today?
Well, I just love this photograph. It's a picture of three destroyers, and they're kind of snaking through the Pacific Ocean with speed and agility, and they really do look like sort of slippery serpents with their wake, their silvery wake behind them. It's an absolutely amazing image which just suggests speed, agility, stealth and kind of sort of feline power somehow. It's actually the 23rd Destroyer Squadron, which is part of the US Pacific Fleet, formed in May 1943, took part in the Battle of Cape St. George on November 1943, was also involved in the reinvasion of the Philippines, so played a very active role. But, you know, you and I have said over and over and over how we don't spend enough time talking about the navies, we don't talk enough about naval power. And, you know, if you're looking for sort of, the obvious one is to have a whopping great battleship or a whopping great aircraft carrier. But there is something about the sleek slickness of a really effective destroyer force that I think is incredibly compelling. And that's what you get in this image.
Yeah.
You know, it's American, but it could be British.
Yeah.
You know, it really could be. You know, these are guys who really know what they're about. And why they're zigzagging, of course, is to avoid submarines. You know, they're constantly on the move. You don't operate in straight lines.
You can see they've broken from a straight line, haven't they, into this manoeuvre, because the top of the photo is a straight line, and the wakes run. The first ship's wake runs to halfway down the picture. It is really. It reminds me of eels or something. It's sort of got that. It's got that sort of kinetic energy captured in it. This photo. I mean, I suppose this is what you do if you get a ping on the ASDIC that tells you there's a bad guy about, or if you've got aeroplanes coming at you, and the idea is to make yourself just that much more difficult to get a fix on.
Absolutely, and so the picture also suggests that there's something lurking underneath in the depths, which I also quite like about it. But there's something about it which also suggests enormous speed.
Yeah.
You can see particularly the middle destroyer is really tilting over as it's about to it's going into its next curve.
Yeah.
You know, its next bend turn, and you know these things could operate at kind of sort of 40 plus knots if they really needed to.
Wow.
Or not, maybe not quite as much as that, but certainly sort of 32 knots. Yeah, that's really fast.
That's very fast. Yeah,
you know, that's really quick.
Gosh, that's an amazing image. And of course, yeah, I mean, the thing is if your destroyers don't run on time, as it were, then your aircraft carriers never will. And your big battleships, that without these vessels running screens, your convoys won't get through. Your big ships will be unprotected, and effectively, you know, the glamour boys don't get to fly off their aircraft carrier if there isn't a screen of destroyers.
Yeah, and destroyers are the key to winning the Battle of the Atlantic, which, as we've discussed before, is the single most important theatre in the entire Second World War.
Yeah,
because that is the seas through which all supplies go for the war in Europe.
Yeah,
and so it's of vital importance, and it is the destroyers who are really, you know, doing the hard yards. You know, it's a really, really tough occupation. This is a hard part of the war to be in. You know, there's a reason why Nicholas Monsarrat called his book The Cruel Sea.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's not only you dealing with the kind of what's lurking in the depths below, the U-boats and all the rest of it, you're also having to deal with the sort of, you know, capricious nature of the sea, of the oceans, of the weather, which could, of course, be absolutely brutal and long, long, long months away as well.
A perfect encapsulation of naval power right there. Thanks, James.